Welcome back to the How to Hot Shot questions answered segment. I'm really excited to answer this question that Rayshawn asked me, I think yesterday or the day before, in the comments on a previous video. Rayshawn's question is, listen, I'm trailer shopping and I'm torn between buying a trailer that has straight deck, which means it's all wood beginning to end, or buying a trailer that has monster ramps. By the way, monster ramps take up 5 feet of your deck. For example, if you're buying a 30-foot trailer, monster ramps are going to take up 5 feet of your trailer and the other 25 will be straight deck. So Rayshawn's question is, I'm torn because I want to be able to have the flexibility to haul cars as well, but I'm torn. I don't know what to do. I am excited to answer this question because I was in the same exact place over a year ago when I was shopping for my trailer, and I'll share with you guys what my thoughts were then, what swayed my decision, what my views are now, a year in the game, looking backwards. And, if you want to use that information to take it into account and make your own decision, great. This video is not about making your decision for you. I just want to share that I had the same thoughts, and this is how I ended up, making a call and what I think about it. So, as far as you know, I have a 32-foot straight deck trailer, all wood. I do have ramps, but they're slide-out ramps. They're 10-feet ramps. They support 8,000 pounds, and they're underneath the back of my trailer. As a matter of fact, I'm putting up a weekly money video tomorrow, and you'll see a truck that I hauled. You'll see the ramps. So that's what I have. I like what Rayshawn said because I also wanted the flexibility to haul cars if I wanted to and needed to, especially leaving a dry area. Better to throw 2 vehicles on there than leave with 0. So I wanted that flexibility too, and that's why I was looking at trailers with monster ramps and almost pulled the trigger on a trailer with monster ramps. But then, in the 11th hour, I watched a YouTube video where a guy had a trailer with monster ramps, and he said in his video, I regret getting this because when I've booked loads where, for example, let's say he had a 30-foot trailer. I book a 30-foot load and the brokers have, taken the load away because 5 feet of my 30 feet is monster ramps and they wanted a full 30 feet of, straight deck space as opposed to 25 feet of solid deck, straight deck space and 5 feet of monster ramps. And I thought, oh man, I didn't know any better. I thought, I don't want to be in that predicament. Let me not buy a trailer with monster ramps. As far as that's concerned, over a year later now in the game, I look backwards and not one broker and not one load that I've ever booked or ran or just called on and maybe didn't even get it, but still, not one load has ever said to me, oh man, by the way, is your trailer a straight deck or does it have monster ramps? And if it's monster ramps, we can't give you this load because we don't want a portion of our load over the monster ramps. That has not happened to me, not once. Not to say that hasn't happened to anybody, because obviously it happened to this guy that made that video. And I don't know if it happens outside of the Northeast or if it happens in my area, the Northeast. I just haven't encountered it. If it's happened to you, if you have a trailer with monster ramps and you've been, for lack of a better word, discriminated against because you don't have, X amount of solid deck space, part of your trailer are monster ramps, please let us know. I'd like to know. Rayshawn would like to know. I'm sure others would like to know if this is a real issue. So if you have a trailer with monster ramps, let us know if the monster ramps have ever been held against you. Now, the other thing about monster ramps is, yes, they do give you the flexibility to move vehicles if need be because it's a gradual increase versus my 8-foot ramps are pretty steep. And I've bottomed out a vehicle once and had to pay $1,000 to repair the drivetrain and some other damage I did to the bottom. If I had monster ramps, it'd be a gradual incline and I probably wouldn't have that issue. I wouldn't have had that experience or had to spend that money. Because of that experience, I went out and bought ramp extensions, which I'll make another video about. But those ramp extensions cost me about $700 and they were worth it because in the late summer, early fall of 2019, freight was slow. I was moving a lot of vehicles and I didn't want to not be able to move a vehicle because it had a low ground clearance. So I bought these ramps so that I could pretty much load any vehicle on my trailer. If, you've been in a point where you have a straight deck trailer and you have not been able to move a vehicle or something like that because, your ramps are too steep like mine, let us know. We'd like to know. The last thing I want to mention is another benefit of monster ramps is there are some loads that I've called on that they've said, do you have monster ramps? Because the load that we're moving is it's a it needs to roll up ramps, but slide out ramps won't do. We need a wider ramp setup. And because of that, we're looking for a trailer with monster ramps. That hasn't happened much to me, but maybe 5 calls in the last year have come across that way. And that's why I mentioned that, because it's happened to me. It doesn't happen a lot, but if that's happened to you, if you've called on a load, this is the third opportunity for engagement from you guys that I'm asking for on this video. If that's happened to you, you call on a load and they say, do you have monster ramps? Let us know. How often has that happened to you? Does it happen to you at all? And also let us know how long you've been running, so we can see, it's happened to this guy. He's been in the business 5 years. It hasn't happened to this guy, and they've been in the business 10 years. Let us know. So those are my experiences, my, thought process way back before I bought a trailer, and now looking back a year in the rear view after having had a trailer and been in the business and running loads and making money. If I were to do it all over again, and again, I'm not saying this to make your decision for you. Use it as a grain of salt, or take it with a grain of salt rather, or throw it out, use it. It's up to you. But if I were buying a trailer right now, knowing based on my last, year of experience on the road, that having monster ramps would not be held against me, but I might benefit from having monster ramps because some loads, prefer them, and vehicles are easier to move with them. I would probably have bought a 30 or 32 foot trailer with monster ramps, because why not? If it's going to be a bonus, why not? The one detriment that I've heard about monster ramps is that when you're driving down the road, and I saw some YouTube videos on this when I was shopping for my trailer, trying to decide which way to go. A couple guys said they're loud. They clang and they bang because it's metal on metal. And some guys just kind of, put one of their straps across, the monster ramps themselves and kind of secured them to the trailer itself, if you will, like basically pressed them down so that they didn't clang against each other, and that pretty much solved it. So that's the only downside that I've heard about monster ramps. And that was, like I said, a year ago before I got in the game. So again, take this with a grain of salt. Hopefully it just, gives you some reference point. I've been through it. I've thought about it. And now I noticed that what I heard in that video was bogus, at least, for my, for the path I've traveled for the last year. So hopefully this helps you guys. Let us know in the comments below. Like I said, all those 3 questions. Do you have a trailer with monster ramps? The pros, the cons. Do you have a straight deck trailer? Have you been, not been able to take a load because of that, because they preferred monster ramps? And as far as vehicles go, if you have a trailer with monster ramps, have you found that it's a lot easier for you to move vehicles and other loads when they prefer monster ramps? Like anything about monster ramps, let us know in the comments. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. On a totally separate note, I want to say thank you to Aaron Coleman and all of you guys that have been sharing kind words regarding the free course. Aaron says in a comment recently in the last couple of days that he signed up for the course, he's taken it, and it's answering all his questions. And he highly suggests that anybody who has questions about hotshot trucking sign up for the free course. Thank you, Aaron, for mentioning those kind words. I really, really appreciate it. And all you guys that are mentioning similar comments in the course, in the comment section or here on YouTube underneath the videos. I really, really appreciate it. As always, the link below this video, if you go to the right-hand side of your screen, there's a little gray arrow. Just click on that. The screen will kind of open up below the video, and there you'll find a huge link that says download the free video course here. Click on that. It'll ask you where you want me to send it to you, like punch in an email address so I know where to send it and your name, and it'll go out to you. You have the first two part, actually the first part and the welcome video to watch seconds after doing that, and then you'll get every part of the video, which is 6 parts in total. You get those every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern time from now for the next 5 days. So again, thanks to all you guys. I'm glad you're benefiting from it, and I'll see you guys soon.